This is Pigsy doing another video. Throat's still a little bit hoarse, but it's not too bad. Oh my god, what's happening? What is happening? Oh man, don't be so crazy. I've got no time for craziness. Are all the cars going up or are all the cars going down? See, I'm quite a small car, so... Okay, thank you. I don't need to hit anything on the way. See how it works. It's a bit tough at the moment. So it's probably a bit of a local football match or something. Something that's caused all these cars that come out of nowhere. It's not too bad. Don't speak too soon. So anyway, I'll get back to the video now it's all cleared up. It's one of the things you start filming and you go around a corner somewhere and you get bombed by cars. It's like there's a car here in front of me. It's not indicating, it's just cruising, I think. I'm just deciding where they want to go at the last minute. It's still not indicating, just sort of sliding over to one side, which is never a good thing. So yeah, it's great. I went to the toilet today, which you usually do every day, and then afterwards I weighed myself in the scales. But I took the scales to a room with a hardened floor. So I thought, well, let's try the kitchen. And yeah, it was near 17 stone now, so that's in the space of under 3 months, that's 2 stone. So it's probably close to 2 months, but I don't want to exactly say that because at first I wasn't really taking accurate figures on the scales. I just noticed the clothes started to get looser, and then people started saying little remarks, and also you lose weight in different areas of your body, so it's not exactly so straightforward. And simply, you know, you've lost weight. Because if I lost weight, say right around my waist or my legs, and I didn't lose it around my face, nobody would notice, you know, so it's one of them things. And it goes up and down with your water weight. So, you know, it's going to go up and down since I've eaten and since I've drunk some water. But generally it's a good sign. I think I was hanging on to some water weight and then it just sort of went. And I think that was to do with I had a bit of a refeed. The refeed triggered to flush some stuff out of me. I also noticed I seem to urinate more when I drive fast. If I'm drinking water, I tend to retain it a bit, so it's a bit unusual. But then maybe that's good, maybe that's healthy. If you go to the toilet fairly regularly, you're weeing quite a bit, it's usually a sign your kidneys are not so great. They're a bit stressed, or there's other toxins in the body and they're clearing out. Your liver's a bit stressed out. I don't really, I mean I like the occasional drink, I don't drink much. And there's nothing really to make my liver uncomfortable in any way, so it's all good. So I think it's all progress. That's just one of these things with progress. You take your time to analyse what it means, and just look at things like the clothes getting looser in areas. I should really get a tape measure and I can measure parts of my body, but if I start doing things like that, people may start thinking I've become completely obsessed, and I guess at some level you do, because it's a life-changing thing, and it's a lifestyle, you know, if you practice something, and it's a part of a lifestyle, usually you talk about it like culture, so it's a type of eating culture really. And we forget how important it is, and you can pretty much start a conversation about food with anyone. gonna have either things they like eating or things they avoid and stuff, you know. And then it's going to cross over to health and other areas as well, which is always interesting. And so, what else was I doing today? I was doing some what I call bath press-ups, or maybe special pixie press-ups, I think. I was using the bath because I get a bit tender in the lower back, and that's from my care work. And next week, because a member of staff's left, they're throwing out some extra work my way, so I will be doing a lot more than I normally do. And that means between all the work I do, I'll be doing over 50 hours. So I don't really have time to go off to the gym and recovery time. And to be honest, my body says, well, why would you want to? Blimey, you work as hard enough as it is. Because I need mental alertness, some driving between jobs, and then the time in the job. So 50 hours, 50-something hours work, but that doesn't include the travelling around between jobs and so on. So it's a bit more higher than that. It's really to bridge the current circumstances. I'll adjust it in the future, but I don't want to at the moment because I just need to clear bills and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of a lower impact type squat or pressure on your lower back, and then you just basically you can increase. You can play around with it basically. So you could do it with your elbows are quite narrow to your body. You could do a wider one. You could do your grip in different positions. You can do one with one arm if you wanted to, or if you found it too easy, just increase the reps really until you get effect. The main thing people do press-ups is usually for their arms. That's what they're thinking, is for their triceps. And there's also my own squats as well. A micro squat. It's like a yoga. Could call it a Kali squat or something. Add to the book. Or a micro squat, because all you do is if you can get your palms on the ground, or knuckles, or even fingertips, and you have your arms in front of your legs, but not exactly next to them. And then what you do is you bend, so you bend over, you bend your knees, and your knees you want to touch your elbows. And when they touch your elbows, you straighten back up again, and it's one. And so you repeat that cycle, and because it's an easy exercise to do, you want to do maybe 30 or 40, just do them fairly, not really fast, but do them fast enough. It only take a second to do. You're not going to be taking much stress on the body, and you'll get the effect of it. And also you've got muscle memory and other things that kick in play, because you're putting a kind of strange stress on it. There's a lot of your muscles involved with balance, and you're swaying your weight across from one angle to the other. I mean, you can make it more complicated and harder. You could do it with one leg if you wanted a more advanced level. And that would be your Kali squat. That would be pixie squat. Just I created it. And there's another move as well. There's one where you, instead of bending the legs, you can, for stretching, you can bend the elbows towards the legs, and it pull your head closer to your knees and your arms. And what you can do is you can channel more body weight onto the arms, and so when you're bending them, it's almost like someone trying to balance on their hands. There's variations of that as well. So it's a kind of very yoga, spiritual stuff as well as physical stuff. Kicks in a bit of strength training there, you see. It's fairly low impact and you'll get benefits. A good reason to do some exercises is with your OMAD diets. If you're on that or fasting, you just want to move some things on. You may want to restock up the muscles with your glycogen by tapping some glucose. But yeah, you sort of do that. So there's times when you fast. Depends what you're eating as well. So just aware, if you feel tired physically, you might be time for a bit of sugar in the muscles. But if you don't, then do it and see how you feel, really. See, the faster energy moves, the less stagnant it becomes. And it also works in other principles as well. Like economics and stuff. Well, it's just kind of an alchemy. You know, there's no point having a power that you never use. So tap into it. I may try to do a caffeine fast. I mean, it sounds wet, doesn't it? But for some people, what you have to have caffeine? No, it's not that. It's just I find myself having it because of where I go. If you go meet anyone, they say, "Do you want a coffee? Do you want a cup of tea?" So it's a bit difficult. It's like being a smoker and someone asking you if you want a fag all the time. And most of the time I don't bother, but then I go to a few places and I might just have a cup of tea. But what I might do is set myself up for something else. I might bring around my Bovril. That's chicken, it's got sugar in it. It's got salt in it, and it's got meat, and it's got a bit of protein in it. But then that might be different. That's slightly different. What are you doing? Driving in, driving out. Mystery drivers. So, and yeah, and also the other thing I want to say about OMAD, probably try to get it into the early afternoon if possible. It's just sleep. Sleep can be a bit difficult. I mean, I'm feeling physically good. I just don't feel like I've slept as well as I could have. But then maybe that could be to do with glucose, fructose, all them O's, or maybe I need some starch or something. I felt better as well because yesterday I started adding a bit more vegetables in the mix. I had some swede and some rice, and it was mash, swede, something mash, some sort of spicy rice, gravy, onions, and 4 sausages. Today I've had about 5 sausages, an egg, and some coleslaw, and I put them into 2 sandwiches. Breads are, I mean, if you want to slow down your bowel movements, bread's the one. But you're probably best to soak it in some juices like soup and stuff. Don't soak it in anything that's going to make you feel ill, because it's going to travel through you. Like if you make it really sickly, sweet and greasy and stuff and other things. You know, if you put bad food with it, you'll make a bad combo. But as it slowly breaks down, it'll keep feeding me, so my body won't be so crabby. But white bread, depends what the bread is as well. The quality of the bread, better quality food. I think that's what it's really about. Is I'm going to start shifting the quality up. I haven't had fruit for a while. I don't know if I should include that in my diet. So generally, I don't have much fruit. So I wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Something else to dabble with. But I may start put all the sweet things together. I just have a lot of sweet things in one go on it. So if I wanted a load of puddings, I might have like a salad, and it might have some tomatoes in it, and some sweeter things, sweeter type of, like I might chuck some raisins in there, and the rice, and maybe some pepper in it and stuff, and and some actual green peppers. And then just get that, and then for a pudding you have some custard and some tasty sticky toffee pudding or something, I don't know. And maybe have some fruit in the mix, and then follow up with a smoothie or something mad. Who knows, that might be a kind of sweeter thing. Because you're having it in one hit, you're letting your body process it. Yeah, it might stick your insulin through the roof for a little bit. But to be honest, when you're a bit more sensitive, it doesn't take a lot. I had, because my throat's a bit hoarse anyway, but I had earlier, I had a cup of coffee and I made it too strong around this client. So I'd go down this client and I didn't eat any food, but I told her to have a coffee. And I put some milk in it. The coffee I made was so strong, I ended up redoing it. I ended up putting it into a Pyrex dish, or these type of like a jug, and I added some. I added a little bit of ice cream actually, because you didn't have much milk. I only used all the milk. And then I added some nutmeg, and I added some. I did want cinnamon. I added something else, I'm sure. Ginger. I had a little bit of ginger in there. And I thought, well, this is a good mix for my throat. And it did seem quite good actually. And it also kind of evened out the taste, because it was just too strong on coffee. It's just like coffee was floating on top. So yeah, that was a good mix. But I felt the insulin spike. It felt like it's, to be honest, it's sexual energy. That's what it feels like. You get a dopamine buzz out of it. It takes seconds, like kind of like shivers at the spine. So yeah, got away with that one alright. So anyway, someone crossed someone's path and he didn't bother to brake. So I calculated the risk, but he obviously calculated the risk as well. Anyway, so big sign off, and I will speak to you again.